can't be biased against something. You can only be biased for something. If that's true, why are Emmy voters so biased against corrections? Hey, by the way, Emmy winner, one killer question, the Only Murders in the Building after show, which won the Emmy. And congratulations again to them. Not doing new episodes. So now I'm even angrier. Because it turns out if you win, you get to stop. Did a tour de force, as Shoemaker says, where I did the voices of the entire Seinfeld cast. Someone wrote in and said, you said entire cast of Seinfeld, but you only mentioned the main cast. So who did I leave out? Newman! Somebody was really upset about this from a closer look, that it's not champagne in the champagne flute. And they said they're just really skeeved out when they don't see champagne in a champagne flute. And I apologize, and it will not happen again. It was an oversight. Somebody else said, hey, there's no brine in the pickled pelican jar. Well, someone has an eye for brine. Scrabble tiles will fall out of a bingo cage. Okay. We said that the Pope was an undecided voter, and then a bunch of you said the Pope is not a U.S. citizen, so he cannot vote in the U.S. election. And then when he heard that, the Pope called us all a bunch of Stalin died in 1953. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In premiered in 1968, so Stalin could not have appeared on Laugh-In. Also, we said that was a joke when we referenced Laugh-In. We said that was a joke for people over the age of 50. Someone wrote in, try 60, because I'm 58 and have no idea what you're talking about. Also, when I said "sock it to me" in a Russian accent, someone said, Stalin did not have a Russian accent. He was from Georgia. He had a Georgian accent. He would not have said "sock it to me." He would have said, hi, y'all. People are upset we are still doing the same surprise ending at the end of A Closer Look. So I want to do a new one. And we just got to edit it together. I want to do that like horror movie thing where it's like someone is still and then all of a sudden, so it's like this. It's like, wow! But like edit it. Let's do it again. Ah! See how it looks. Someone said, I said Victoria Falls was one of the 7 wonders of the natural world. Someone says, isn't it Niagara Falls? It is not. But the footbridge that crosses Niagara Falls is one of the 21 bridges or tunnel that goes to Canada. So that's pretty cool. Consolation prize. Smokey Bear, not Smokey the Bear. Someone said my Harrison Ford impression sounds like Jennifer Coolidge. Multiple people said that. That can't be true. Laugh it up, fuzzball. It's not. Snakes? Why is it all gotta be snakes? Hey. Get off my plane. No. I didn't kill my wife. Can I say something about the one-armed man? Bad guy. Still, the fact that he continued to be an assassin after losing the arm, a lot of people would have hung it up. Mentioned Star Wars last week and said, basically said, Star Wars wasn't shot in space. And when he wrote in, since the Earth is in space, technically Star Wars was made in space. And this is why I hate you. Someone wrote in, this whole corrections thing this whole corrections thing is as inaccessible as my father's love. Well, now you're finally getting it. We were talking about what is and what isn't a palindrome. Obviously, the most famous one, people were suggesting to me, a man, a plan, a canal, Panama. Someone wrote one I'd never heard before. Go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hog. That's a palindrome. I checked, that's a palindrome. My favorite palindrome is, oh, a man, a plan, a canal, Panama, ho. Did a day drinking. And by the way, I knew this was coming. I knew we'd hit a tipping point. Someone wrote in, I don't think drinking is funny. And I don't either. I just think I'm super funny when I drink. Talked about 11% off at Menards. Bunch of people in both Minnesota and Wisconsin. Wisconsin had a lot of proprietary ownership of Menards, and they wanted to stress that that's a Menards company. In Eau Claire, or as Shoemaker says, Water Claire. They said it's not 11% off, it's an 11% rebate. You have to send in the bottom portion of your receipt with a rebate form, and they send you a card with all the rebates you sent in. You use that in place of cash at checkout, only at Menards. Save more money at Menards. Oh, and I realized I've been tricked into doing a live ad. Who sent that in? Oh. Drum Eric Schnauzer Dad 41. Just ask. I talked about how people said my day drinking drawing looked like Margaret Thatcher or Jimmy Carter today. And somebody wrote in, you actually look like Obama. This is a true thing. You actually look like Obama in your day drinking photo. Side by side it to prove it. All right, so I side by side. This is me and Obama. Oh, right. Identical. It's a short one, but guys, here's the thing. My kids came to the show today because Jalen Brunson was on and Josh Hart were on, and my son Axel's kind of obsessed with Jalen Brunson, and so he came to the show, and it was great having him here. Really fun. But at one point, Axel came over to me during the show, and he pulled me in to say he had a secret, because, it's loud. And I got really close, and then he screamed in my ear. Can I have the Legos on your desk? And I think he blew my eardrum. Again, look, it reflects badly on the parent when your kids don't understand how whispering works. I want to close with this, because it's very exciting, because I want you guys to be invested in both the future of the show and the NFL football season. I get in the elevator yesterday. With John and Jim, my crack security team, and Kenny gets on. And, when Kenny gets on, basically John and Jim are like, we're out, right? Like, they're like, because Kenny on an elevator is like Captain America and Winter Soldier. Like, up close, like, John and Jim are useless against him. And so, and Kenny goes, I got a bet for you. So here's the thing. The Steelers and the Jets are playing this year, and Kenny wanted to make a bet about the Steelers-Jets game, October 20th. And Kenny goes, if the Jets win, you got to have a mug on your desk with the final score for the rest of the football season. And I'm like, okay. And then what else? And he goes, and if the Steelers win, I'll get a tattoo. True story. I'll get a tattoo of the score and your signature. You can sign my arm and I'll get a tattoo. Like, that's what I want. Kenny walking around with my... Talk about a trap. So the cops show up and they're like, you know this guy? I'm like, I've never met him. And they're like, explain that. But like, I want to mention something. I was ready, because Kenny's been talking about this so long. I was ready to make a bet with Kenny on far more agreeable terms to Kenny. Like, what Kenny brought to me, I was like, are you joking? It's like if someone's like, if the Jets win, you buy me a drink. And if the Steelers win, I kill all your enemies. Even the ones you're on the fence about. So anyway, I mean, that's just like something for you guys to look forward to. I mean, I'm sure the Jets are going to win now. And I might have a dumb mug here. And then the next time Axel's here, he's going to go, can I have the mug? To life. See you next week.